Hey guys, today's video is dealing with narcissistic individuals, dealing with BPD, and the title of today's video is going to be It Is What It Is. And basically what I mean by that, guys, is I hate to break it to you, but these people are not going to change, especially if they're adults. You know, it goes back to that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. By the time somebody's an adult, if they've had mental illness, they've suffered from mental illness their whole life, they're most likely not going to change. Even somebody that has bipolar disorder is probably going to have bipolar disorder for their lifetime. Somebody that has BPD is probably going to be BPD until they get the help they need. Like there's certain therapies that help BPD, which we can get into in another video. But the reason why today's title is It Is What It Is because when you're dealing with a narcissistic man, when you're dealing with a narcissistic woman, when you're dealing with a BPD woman or a BPD man, because they are suffering from a mental illness, they can't meet all your needs. A lot of times women that have BPD will suffer as co-occurring disorder with severe anxiety. This can also go hand in hand with paranoia. Girls that have borderline, they can be very paranoid. They can be very anxious. Narcissistic individuals can be very anxious. That could be a co-occurring disorder. But the narcissistic people, they're not going to change for the most part. I mean, they've adopted this script, which is most likely a mental illness. And, you know, because they have those mental illnesses, they're just not going to change. Oftentimes these BPD girls, they just can't meet your needs. For whatever reason, they can't meet your needs. A lot of it is trauma. A lot of it is these men were brought up in very abusive households. Like, for example, as a child, I was raised in a domestic violence household. My dad was domestically violent to my mom, domestically violent to me. And so that kind of put a little bit of anxiety on me, a little bit of post-traumatic stress disorder, because I never knew when I was going to get hit. I never knew when my mom was going to get beat. So it always left me on edge. That can be part of PTSD, right? So people that are suffering from these mental health conditions, anxiety, PTSD, you know, BPD, narcissism, don't be mad at them. Like, I know that it's taken me years to rein my anger in. Like, I was angry that I couldn't have my BPD ex-girlfriend. I really loved her to death. And I wanted so bad to be a loving husband, so badly to be a loving boyfriend. But because she was a borderline woman, she was probably bipolar, she had co-occurring disorders like anxiety, PTSD, it made her unable to date me. She became a narcissist, most likely because of child abuse. You know, she couldn't rely on her parents to meet her needs. Maybe she was raising her sister, raising her brother because mom and dad weren't around. So she developed an attitude that she couldn't trust other people. And so that's often what you're dealing with BPD girls, narcissistic girls. It's a lot of these women were sexually abused. A lot of these women were physically abused. And because of that trauma, that's led to severe anxiety, severe PTSD that's not going to go away without some pretty serious treatment. They may have these disorders for life. But your job is, the reason why today's title is It Is What It Is because, like I said, you have to get to a point, you know, like I have. I just have to accept the fact that my ex-girlfriend cannot meet my needs. My ex-girlfriend cannot be a loving wife. My ex-girlfriend can't be a good girlfriend. Because of the trauma, she really more or less hates men. She don't respect men. Very disrespectful behaviors like ghosting, silent treatment, things I wouldn't do to my worst enemy. I'd talk to someone face to face if I had a problem with them. But with the BPD people, narcissistic people, 9 times out of 10, they're just going to ghost you. They're going to give you the silent treatment. A lot of that has to do with anxiety. It has to do with it could be co-occurring disorders like PTSD, anxiety. They could have those co-occurring disorders that's making them push you away. Their anxiety is telling them to push you away. Their post-traumatic stress disorder is telling them to push you away. Like, I know within the last year, I called up one of my buddies and said, I don't have any friends at the moment. I'd like to meet some people. And next thing you know, I had some random guy calling me to be my friend. And I got to be honest with you, he was being kind of inappropriate with me right off the bat as a friend. And so I didn't even hang out with this person. I literally left it at, you know, a Facebook text only. And then I ended up actually blocking the person because they were being sexually inappropriate with me. And I just wanted to be their friend, you know, um, because I actually have a wife and kids. So I don't, I don't go there. But it's just hard to make friends, guys, because these people have ulterior motives. Some of them have ulterior motives. Like, for example, you might think a BPD girl really likes you, but maybe she's love bombing you because she needs a place to stay. You might think a narcissistic woman really likes you a lot. Maybe she's just sucking up to you because she lost her vehicle. Like one of my last girlfriends crashed her car driving drunk. And then she hit me up for rides constantly. Hey, will you give me a ride here, ride there? Maybe she was just being nice to me because she needed rides. Because she's not in my life right now. Those are the narcissistic BPD girls. They're going to come into your life. They're going to use you for your resources. This isn't every fucking case. Mostly the sociopathic ones that have antisocial personality as a co-occurring disorder. But when you're dealing with those people, they don't have any regard for the way you feel about a situation. Like my ex-girlfriend, she don't give a fuck that I've been upset for the last 2 or 3 years because she's been gone. She literally gives zero fucks. Because she's self-focused. She doesn't care what Steve's going through. She don't care Steve's upset. She don't care that Steve almost killed himself over her. She literally does not give a fuck because she's self-focused. Do you see the narcissism there? But I'm not mad at her for that narcissism because it was mostly caused by child abuse, guys. She was raised in a chaotic family. She actually told me on the phone she blames her childhood for her behavior. I believe her, I'm just going to take her word for it. Maybe she was the victim. I know actually this one person was the victim of physical assault many times. So maybe that's why she don't want a boyfriend. She don't want a husband because to her, when she gets super close to a guy, she don't know if she's going to get belted upside the head. And that's why when she starts getting close to a guy, she's thinking, Jesus, this guy's liking me too much. He's going to get mad at me if I say no. And then she's thinking he's going to hurt me. So then she starts pushing guys like me away. That's where you're going to see them manufacture a fight over nothing. Like my girlfriend ghosted me because the landlord kicked her dogs out. It's going on 3 years. Literally had done nothing wrong except the landlord kicked her dogs out and she totally punished me over it, giving me silent treatment, ghosting, refuses to hang out with me. But I have to get to a point where I just accept it, because the truth is this girl doesn't want to be loved. She doesn't want to be my loving girlfriend. She doesn't want to be my loving wife because in her narcissistic brain, it's all about her. It's all self-focused. I mean, there might as well be some arrows just pointing at the person because that's what a narcissistic individual is. They're so self-focused. They don't even see other people in the room mostly unless they're trying to get something. BPD girls can be very manipulative. Like I said, you might think a BPD girl really likes you. Come to find out she just needs a place to crash. Or you might wonder, Jesus, this girl likes me a lot. This BPD girl likes me a lot. She's fucking the shit out of me. Like one of my last BPD ex-girlfriends, she was having like crazy sex with me. We're having like porn star sex. It was like amazing sex. We actually had sex behind FedEx once. And then we got out of the car and found out we were on camera. So that was a lot of fun. But, they do stuff like that. They'll fuck the shit out of you and then, they'll ghost you, leave state or break up. Here you think you got a great girlfriend. And that's why the boyfriends like myself, that's why they're going outside and blowing their fucking head off. That's why they're going on high-speed chases. Like the same girl put me in a fucking crisis once and I went on a high-speed chase because I was upset, probably because I missed her. So do you see how these women, these men that have all these mental illnesses, all this trauma, they literally just walk around the community bleeding on people like me. And I have my own trauma. Like I said, I was the victim of child abuse. I was the victim of domestic violence. I've been physically assaulted. Like one time I broke up a fight and got punched in the fucking head for saving my friend. My friend was getting beat up in a car. I was driving a car in Baltimore and the kid next to me was fighting with the guy in the back seat and he ended up trying to punch him in the face. And I reached over to restrain the guy in the passenger seat that was attacking him. And I got punched in the head, full force in the head, to the point where it might have done some slight damage to my brain. Like I have a little bit of brain issues, nothing too serious. But, like a little twitch here, a little twitch there, wondering, is that a brain injury? Curious, right? But you have to get to a point, guys, like I am tonight, where you just say it is what it is. I'm not mad at the person. You know, it goes back to the serenity prayer. You know, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can change, and the wisdom to know the difference. So like, you're not going to change your BPD girlfriend. Probably the only person that could do that is a doctor with some heavy therapy. Like one therapy I think is called cognitive behavioral therapy. There's other therapies that they use to treat borderline personality, dialectical behavior therapy. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm not exactly sure the exact one. I'd have to do some research. We can do another video sometime. Maybe we'll do a short on it. But anyway, guys, it's about coming to acceptance. It's about accepting things for how they are. It's about working on your self-care. Like, I'm out in the woods right now doing this video because I love to get out in nature. Will I probably die from a random cougar leopard attack? Maybe. But you know what? That'd be a cool way to die. Getting eaten by a fucking bear. Something would be a good way to die. You know, they say, oh, what happened to Steve? I haven't seen him for a while. Oh, yeah, he got eaten by a bear. And everybody's, you know, toasting at the table because they think it's funny. So, you know, you could have a cool death like that, you know, get eaten by a shark. I think that would be another cool death, is to be eaten by a shark. You know, but keep in mind, guys, your mental health is key. You know, you can't be going on high-speed chases like I did. You can't be, you know, on the verge of killing yourself like my BPD girlfriends pushed me to. But it's not her fault. I'm not going to sit here and blame her and say it's her fault, because those were my issues. Maybe I was pushed over the limit because of my abuse growing up, because of my hard life. I've had a hard life. I've had a lot of struggles. You know, I've gotten fired from jobs because I had broken up that fight. Like literally one time I had a job at Big Lots. They fired me because of my record. Which I don't have any felonies. I've gotten like my felonies dropped, so I'm not a felon, so that's good. Spent a year in drug court, you know, and that's how I got my felonies dropped. You know, I broke up this huge fight, went to jail for a week, went on a high-speed chase, you know, had to go to drug court for a year. But I think the high-speed chase was caused by me being upset. You know, I was probably upset and missed my girlfriend that week. You know, the BPD girl, super sweet girl. I mean, this girl would make you cry with the stories she's got. You know, she's got PTSD. She's got, you know, anxiety. She's got BPD. She's probably got bipolar. Like, one of the symptoms of BPD is increased, you know, severe anger, you know, inappropriate angry outburst. You know, one time we were driving to the bar. I know I'm going off on tangents today, but who cares, right? We were going to the bar. We're on the highway. And I said to her something like, oh, you're not, I was totally joking. I was like, oh, you're not going to run out with another guy at the bar. I was just joking because she had done that to me before, where we had gone to a bar and she had gone home with a bunch of guys and gotten in trouble and almost gotten raped, to the point where my friend had to rescue her from the house. You know, you just have to accept that these girls are going to do fucked up shit. You know, like I was at the bar one time with her and she left with a group of guys to go do cocaine and they almost raped her. That day in the car, like I said, the intense, inappropriate anger, you know, she's screaming at me because I brought this up. She was screaming at me in the car because I made the comment about her leaving with other guys. She was literally foaming at the mouth. This BPD girl was foaming at the mouth. So that's why coping skills are so important. Like, if your BPD girlfriend, narcissistic girlfriend's flipping out, just get your shoes on, get the fuck out of there. That'll prevent domestic violence. That'll prevent you from getting assault charges, because you don't need to end up in jail over this bullshit. But anyway, guys, you know, today's video being about acceptance. It is what it is. Like I said, you're not going to change your narcissistic girlfriend or boyfriend. You're not going to change your BPD girlfriend. You know, maybe a doctor could do that with some intense therapy, but you're not going to change them yourself. Leave it to the doctors to confront them about their mental illnesses, because if you go up to them and say, I think you have BPD, they're just going to argue with you and tell you they don't have BPD. They have to get to a point where they accept this stuff for themselves, you know? But your job as like the boyfriend or girlfriend is to come to a level of acceptance where you just start working on self-care, you know, be out in the woods like I am, go on nature hikes, join a gym membership. Like you could join a cheap gym. Like there's an East Coast gym called Planet Fitness. And no, it's not a commercial, but you can get a gym membership for like $10. I know I've taken advantage of that in the past where I've gone to Planet Fitness and worked out. So hit the trail, hit the beach, you know, go visit a friend from high school, you know, go visit a girlfriend that's just a friend that you're not trying to fuck. Like I have a girl that I help a lot and we're not sexual, but we're like best friends. It's a girl that I help, you know, she doesn't have a car, so I take her and her kids to get groceries. So sometimes being a good friend like that can be gold, guys. You don't have to fuck every one of these people you're involved with. You know, like me with my friend. I've known her for about 20 years and we're close. But I don't need to have sex with her to be close to her, to be a good friend. Because I can always date another woman. You know, I could, you know, hook up with another girl. You know, I don't need her to meet every single one of my needs. And if you can get to that point where you're cool about things, you're laid back, you're easygoing, you're not trying to force love or force relationships or force friendships, it actually draws these people to you. These women are more likely to hit you up the less you care. You know, if the woman doesn't feel pressured by you, you're more likely to get a date. She's more likely to, you know, if you're out on this trail and you like a girl and you're just laid back chilling and just not making a big deal, she'll probably come up to you and say, hey Bob, would you like to hang out sometime? Let them come to you. These women, I'll tell you the truth. If a woman likes you, she's just going to come up to you and tell you that, you know, pretty easily. You're going to realize this girl likes you. She's going to invite you to come back. Like one time I talked to this girl down the road, literally 3-4 miles down the road. I was at a bar and I took a cab to her house because I didn't have a vehicle at the time. And we ended up having like sex. But before that, when I ran into her, she said she wanted me to come over. That's what women do when they like you guys. They want to invite you over. They want to fuck you. They want to have oral sex. They want to have good sex. They want to hang out. That's why it's important for you men. Like I said, the less you care about the dating situation, the less you care about what your wife's doing. Because honestly, if she's going to cheat on you, then fuck her. She can move out. You can get a new wife. You can get a new girlfriend. You have to realize you can't control these people. You can't control the outcome. Like my dad, he was a fucking asshole growing up. He was beating my mom. He was beating us kids. Meanwhile, he was the pastor of a church, guys, while he's beating his wife and kids at home. That's why I don't judge a book by a cover. You know, you tell me this guy's a pastor. My dad was a pastor and he was a psychopath, a literal psychopath. So never judge a book by a cover. Like I said, a lot of these sociopathic, psychopathic individuals, they look normal. So you're not going to be able to tell. That's why it's important, like if you make a new friend, visit with them in the community and get to know the person. If it's a girl, get to know her in the community in a safe place. How do you know you're not being set up for a robbery on a Tinder date or something? You could be getting set up for a robbery. Why not meet at a neutral location that has cameras so that you can't get robbed? Or if they try something, it'll be on camera. But anyway, guys, I think we beat a dead horse today. I'm just scratching some fucking bug bites that I got. I hate bug bites. I don't know about you guys. But anyway, guys, as a final note, if you like videos like this where I just run my mouth about random shit, you can like, subscribe, and share these videos. Feel free to check out my clothing brand on Amazon. You can go to the search bar of Amazon and type in Faith Rising. That's FAITHRIZING. Type that into the Amazon search bar to see my 500 designs. I have 500 shirts. I have pillows. I have a really nice pillow that's only $19.99. I have shirts starting at $13.49. That's Faith Rising on Amazon. FAITHRIZING. Till next time, guys, like, subscribe, and share this video. Don't forget to tune into the next one. If you guys have any video ideas, leave it in the comments. If you guys have any comments about today's videos, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Anyway, guys, have a good one. And until next time, Steve-O signing out. Boop.